I'm speaking to you from Mammal Hall here at Carnegie Museum, and I'd like for you to meet the Curator of Mammals, Dr. Kenneth Doutt. Dr. Doutt, we're standing in front of this group, which is one of the most famous and oldest groups in the museum, isn't it?
Yes, it certainly is the oldest group in the museum. As a matter of fact, it was built long before this museum was built.
I noticed on the indication it was built in the 60s. Was this built in the 60s?
Yes, that's right.
1860, I mean.
Yes, quite right. Not the 1600s by any means,
That makes
but 1860.
That makes it over 100 years old.
Yes, it's over 100 years old. It was built in France by a Frenchman by the name of Jules Verreau.
Well, I understand that there are some very unusual things about this as far as taxidermy is concerned.
Yes. This is perhaps the best example that has come down to us of the old school of taxidermy, in which the skin was simply stuffed full of excelsior or some similar substance, and then the entire animal was pounded into the proper shape after the skin was on.
In other words, all of the action and everything that we see here was accomplished by his manipulating this excelsior.
By his modeling the skin after he had the inside of it stuffed.
Well, now, as far as taxidermy is concerned, this is a remarkable accomplishment.
It is. It is. The modern type of taxidermy today is a totally different thing. In no way, I can't imagine a taxidermist today trying to build a group in this fashion.
It'd get a little bumpy, I would think.
Not only that, but can you imagine getting the folds in these skins that he did with a wooden chisel and a mallet, pounding the thing into shape? Today they would build a model first, then cast it in plaster of Paris and make a copy from that, and then stretch the skin over it, which is a totally different approach. Of course, then the man knows before he begins to work with the skin exactly what the animal is going to look like.
Can you tell us a little bit of the story of this? What it depicts, this group?
The general story, of course, is this is the one of the Arabs, one of the drivers that followed in the caravans across the desert of North Africa. In those days, there certainly were lions all through North Africa, a species which is now extinct, I might add. But at that time, they were abundant, and they did attack the camel drivers as they drove across the desert. The story is that the female always makes the first attack.
Oh, yeah.
And here we see that the driver has killed the female with a well-placed shot from his old muzzle loader. And then in trying to reload his gun, he has bent his ramrod.
Mm-hmm. You can see that. We can't see it down in the corner.
You can't see it. Yes, it's down there in the corner. Now you've got to kind of get up and look down into the case to see that. But the gun is now useless to him, and the male, as the story goes, has carried on the attack.
And
the only thing he has left now is this long, slim blade. And the fight has been going on for a long time. Whether the lion is going to reach his elbow first, or as he straightens out his arm to plunge that blade to its home, will he miss the lion's mouth by enough to get the blade in?
This is very fascinating, because you can stand here and look at this and you can finish the story, as you just indicated, any one of two ways. Either he did or he didn't.
Either or, yes.
So
I think it is one of the most popular groups in the museum. There are three things that people ask for most commonly when they come to the museum. One is, where are the mummies? The other is, where is the camel driver? And the other is, where are the dinosaurs?
Mm-hmm. Well, is there anything, how many exhibits do you have of this type in Mammal Hall?
This is the only one of this type. Of course, we've got dozens of mounted specimens of mammals of various kinds, largely North American, but fair number of African and mammals from other parts of the world as well.
The best thing for people to do then is come and see for themselves, isn't it?
Yes, I think that'd be the best arrangement.
Thank you very much, Dr. Doutt.
You're welcome, I'm sure.
That's all from here. Let's see now where the magic carpet will take us next.